On today's episode 23 of Sculpt N Create, it's one of those slow burn, real talk conversations that artists don't get enough of. I'm sitting down with Neal, a professional recording artist originally from Brooklyn, New York, whose journey spans regions, sounds, and seasons of the music game. We go beyond just making music and really break down what it really means to be a professional artist, the business behind the art, the pressure that can drain the fun out of creativity, and why longevity matters more than momentary hype. Rocky opens up about versatility in hip-hop, why he refuses to be boxed in, and how he approaches music like an investment, treating songs like stock instead of quick gambles. We also talk about the difference between club stages and festival stages, building real fans instead of chasing gimmicks, and what freedom actually looks like for independent artists. Along the way, he shares stories about opening up for Kevin Gates, Sexy Red, Jeezy, and Untitled Chapter, winning coast to coast in South Carolina, and getting validation from people already in the industry, while staying grounded in who he is. This episode is for artists who want longevity, creators tired of chasing dreams, and anyone trying to build something real without losing themselves in the process. Let's get into it. Welcome to Sculpt N Create, where fitness fuels creativity and helping artists, entertainers, and creators towards their journey on their physical, personal, and career growth. I'm your host, Trea Da Fit Artist, and who I got with me today is Neal. He's a professional recording artist. Welcome to the show, Rock.
Thank you for having me, brother. Thank you for having me.
Man, I'm glad you can make it, man. So before we really get into it, man, let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find your music, maybe book you and everything like that as well.
For sure. You can book me via email. That's rockyneal5@gmail.com. That's ROCKYNEAL, the number 5@gmail.com. You can find me on IG, Rocky, ROCKY_NEAL, the number 5. And everything else is just Rocky Neal. So if you go on your YouTube, you go on your Apple Music, Tidal, or whatever, any digital streaming platform is just Rocky Neal, and all my music, all my catalog will pull up.
Okay, cool. Y'all check my man out. And I have listened to a few of your songs and so forth. We'll definitely get into a couple of them, man, that stood out to me. But before we get into that, though, tell us about the professional recording artist. Like, what do you do, in making your music? What's your style? And so on and so forth.
Absolutely. So in regards to being a professional recording artist, it's one thing to just have a hobby of doing something, and it's another thing of actually monetizing towards it, which is the business part of everything. And that's pretty much the part that take the fun out of everything. Sometimes
the business part?
Yeah, the business part take the fun out of it sometimes. So a lot of times when people be fans of an artist and they go on like a hiatus or something like that, 10 times out of 10 it's because of the business.
Yeah. Okay. And I definitely understand that. I mean, when I was going into college, I was majoring in graphic design. I'm pretty good at drawing and thought there was something I should do. I'm good at computers and drawing. So I said, this is what I'm going to go into school and everything. I love drawing and so forth, and how you just get lost in it and so forth. Same thing with music as well. But when I was in school, hitting up deadlines and stuff like that, you gotta, when you're drawing, the time is on you, whenever you want to finish and however long you take. But when you're trying to do a deadline to reach something and so forth, that pressure is mounts on, and it kind of got boring to me too. So I can definitely relate to that. And I like that you made the distinction between saying professional recording artist instead of saying, you just a rapper or something like that, or so can you explain why you made that distinction and so forth? I think that's important for people to hear too as well.
Absolutely. Well, for one, I don't want to just be deemed as a rapper. I don't want to just be deemed as a singer. My reason for saying that is because I heart my art form of music on versatility. So you may hear one song like Set It Off where I'm doing like boom bap rap as far as like the instrumental or whatever. Then you may hear like an Outside Lifestyle where it's like a feel good track. I'm not really saying much, but the feeling of the song is good. Or I may give you a concept song like Victor Glover where I'm telling you a story or something that may feel, you know what I'm saying, heartfelt or something like that based upon the situation of the song.
Okay, gotcha. So, do you feel like especially when it comes to hip hop, do you feel like they kind of put us in a box of what we doing? We say rapper, they just think that you should be this and nothing else. You shouldn't be able to stray from it, like making R&B or just singing and so forth. Do you think they kind of put us in a box? And then how do we even like, as you differentiate yourself, how do they even get themselves out that box where they can be looked at in more aspects in their music and so forth?
Absolutely. So I do feel like they put certain artists in a box. So it's like you wouldn't put a Gucci man on the same ticket as a Travis Scott.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the reasoning for it is because of these subgenres. I do feel like it's pros and cons to subgenres only because of different regions of the world. Like you may have people in Louisiana that may listen to music different from people over here on the West Coast. And it's based upon the vast consumption of the masses of the people in the area.
And I like that you said that too. I think too that I've been hearing in the YouTube streets where they say that we need to bring that regional hip hop back and so forth. And you from Brooklyn, New York, right? Or are you from? Are you still in New York, or where are you
No,
now?
no, no, no. I'm originally from Brooklyn, but I moved to South Carolina when I was younger, and like I've
Okay,
been back
okay,
and forth my whole life. So that's
okay.
another thing that plays a part in my versatility too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and it definitely resonates because I would, like I said, listen to your stuff. The first thing for is what Apple Music play. What's your name? So I instantly got a vibe of Kurt Cobain's and DJ Lou Nasty. I don't know if you heard of those two
Yeah,
artists
I
and
know
so
them.
forth. Yeah, yeah. So you kind of got that vibe like that or whatever. Especially that's what I was hearing and everything. Especially with the vibe EP, kind of like put you in the mind of however you feeling and also riding music and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I heard when that was the first song I heard that my first impression of you and everything from there. So I believe, like I said, that versatility is important because, as they say, in our culture for hip hop and so forth, you got like 3-5 years people want to listen to you in this one way of you rapping or so forth. Then they get tired of you. So I think when you kind of like broaden your horizons and so forth and show your range, people hear you in a different light and can see you in other places and stuff like that. Kind of got that crossover appeal, not mainly like trying to get the mainstream, but you where people can other type of fans can like you for certain type of music instead of just one type of fan. I believe that diversify your portfolio in a sense. Would you say?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
So
Okay.
another thing with that, you got to start looking at music like stock too. You know, so like
Hmm. You
it
say
ain't the
like
same.
stop.
Yeah, like stock. It ain't the same
Okay.
like with gambling, right? So if I take $1,000 and I bet in a gamble and
Hmm. Hmm.
I lose that $1,000. If I take
Yeah.
$1,000 or if I take one song or something, right, and I put it out
Hmm.
and it don't do good right now, that's not to say it won't do good later on down the line. You get what I'm saying? So that product is still there versus that $1,000 being gone immediately if I lose it.
Right. Right. And I think what folks don't understand, music is timeless. So, and there's so many people in the world that haven't heard your music yet. So you always hitting new audiences and stuff like that. And like I think about Michael Jackson and so forth. He been gone for years, and you got these little kids still being fans of his that never seen him perform or anything like that a day in his life. So that speaks to what you were saying in that range. And then what was a hit now can be a hit again.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so
Just look at Versus.
go ahead.
What Versus do for artists.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like, so some they do a dance to it and everything. People go look at it and everything and see what this about. Another thing come to mind is the Super Bowl. Super Bowl, like that. That's another thing when people who haven't heard them before, like, oh, I like this person. There it goes. That music gets rejuvenated in a sense and so forth. A whole new fan base. I think it's a lot of different examples. Exhibit when he was doing Pimp My Ride and
Yeah,
everything. I remember when he was saying that folks didn't know he was even a rapper because they only knew him of the Pimp My Ride. So he got new fans off that, So and stuff like that. So it's definitely there. I believe people, what the fans I think need to understand that music is timeless and everything. And I think too, they focus more on what's hit or what's popular, other than what they feel and what they think the music is and stuff like that as well. So could you speak to that? Like, cause they're only looking at numbers and so forth, and you got to be mainstream for somebody to actually hear you and stuff like that. Can you speak to those two?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think that's also a gift and a curse. Music is the only thing I know
Mm,
that people actually find themselves being in the present or being in the now. You know what I'm saying? Um, you may look at people now today and they'll be like, which I hate this conversation myself. They may be like,
mm,
"Oh, Chris Brown is better than Michael Jackson." You know what I'm saying? Whereas we're in the now. Yes, Chris Brown is an amazing artist, mind you. I'm a huge fan of Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? But and Chris Brown has said itself. Let's not sit right here and diminish who Michael Jackson is because you can't. You know what I'm saying? And his music lives on. And for that time, you had to be there. That's why people always say you had to be there. That's a statement that should be overstood. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Just being in the now is a reason as to why music popularizes who comes out and who's hot at the moment.
basically, yeah, because we want that popcorn, microwave type music and everything. What makes us, what's now and then. Once they get old, we want something else and stuff like that. And then nothing to like, I guess, in a sense, feed our soul or something we can come back to years and years in for years now. Let me ask you this: would you consider yourself, with that said, a lyrical rapper or more so a vibe rapper or all the above, or what kind? What not? Let me take the rapper part out of it.
Nah,
Artist.
it's
Okay,
cool
go ahead.
because I mean, if I had to choose which one that I'll do, like I would pick rap. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm
if you end up going through my catalog and listening to Set It Off, it's gonna sound totally different from What's Your Name. What's Your Name is more R&B. I got
hmm
Nothing's Wrong. That's R&B. I got um Safe and Sound. That's R&B, right? So if
hmm
somebody hear those songs, they'll be like, "Oh, he's a singer." You know what I'm saying? But I do both exceptionally well. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like I wouldn't put myself in any category. I'll just say I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I definitely. Yes, I definitely get it. That's the reason why I said like Kurt Cobain, stuff like that, and Luke Nasty, DJ Luke Nasty, and so forth. They kind of sing and rap and stuff like that. And then DJ, he's a DJ as well, so he not necessarily put in the box. But yeah, so when I ask that is like I think too with the mainstream is like they don't the consensus is like nobody want to hear that lyrical stuff or they want something they just can dance to and they ain't got to think too much and so forth. Do you agree with that, or you think like just do you agree with that, and why or why not?
It's truth to it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
the sad part about music, right? We can put
mm,
songs out and we can say this and that. Like me personally, like right now, when you say J. Luke Nasty, Kurt Cobain, I wouldn't put myself in the category with them because when you hear me rap, it's totally different. You'll be like, oh
okay.
yeah, this is a totally different artist. Got songs like One of One, right? If you listen to One of One, DJ Luke Nasty or Kurt Cobain ain't rapping like that. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
That's why I would say it's really just a talk. It pretty much it's pretty much like how you feel. So most of the time when I first meet somebody, I'll be like, well, what vibe do you like listen to as far as music? And my reason for that is because I can pinpoint which songs of mine that you'll pretty much be geared towards, and then I'll tell you, okay, well, go listen to this. It's different from, and then they'll be like, this the same person? And I'll be like, yeah, it's the same person.
Right. Yeah. Numbers now let me correct myself when I was saying I'm not saying that you just like them. When I heard that was the first song that came to mind. That was the first song that came that Apple Music had at the top for top song. And so when I heard it, I said that's put me in the mind of Kurt Cobain, that vibe. And then, and then that vibe EP, sounded like, when you think of a vibe artist and stuff like that, that's what it kind of put me in the mind of. Nah, but when I heard Cool on that, Made Men, one on one and stuff like that. That those definitely
Oh
you
yeah,
rapping on and so forth. Yeah. So cool on that. I definitely like the flip. on Michael Jackson on the Michael Jackson
Dirty Diana.
vibe. There you go, and the album and the cover art that you had for it
Mhm.
and everything like that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm with you, man. I get what you, but I'm just saying when I heard that song.
Yeah,
That's what it put me in the mind of. But yeah, so definitely, man. So I think like when they look at Kendrick Lamar, that's another person that comes to mind when they can't listen to his music and so forth, and because he end up like if you Big Morale I'm butchering the name. What is it, Mr. Morale and Big Steppers? Yeah, You listen to that album, great album, but I hear the comments about it like it's no replay value. Only thing I think with him, he makes stuff cinematic. He got that cinematic type of feel when he make music and so forth. It's like a art piece in a sense and everything. And I think too when people think about hip hop versus when the versus like gospel music, when the versus pop music, when the versus country or whatever. I think hip hop just don't still get that shine or respect that it's a certain type of art tool as well. What would you say to that?
for one, I'm probably gonna be biased because I'm a Kendrick fan.
Okay.
I'm a fan of artists that make great music.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be biased in regards to that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the music out there for everybody. If you can, I can say, can I curse on it?
Oh yeah.
If I can say I'm gonna slap the shit out you, on a track and make it sound good sonically, I can understand
Mm-hmm.
the type of people that'll listen to that. But if I can say I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
slap the shit out you in an art form without saying I'm gonna slap the shit out you know what I'm saying? It's like you got two ends of the story. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it just
Yeah.
depends on your preference. Music is all
Right.
preference.
Music is what now? Okay.
So like, you may listen to like the whole conversation right now is can you sing or can you sing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Truthfully, do I make it sound good enough that you like it? It's not really, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a base form as to yeah, this is how everybody can sound. And then if you do these extra things, this is, you know what I'm saying? It's just like what do you like?
Yeah. Now, me coming from it, like I didn't mention that, I'm making music. I'm not doing anything professional, like or whatever. But my standpoint from it is that you find your lane, what your brand is, and so forth, and then kind of speak to that narrative. I think a lot of artists don't think of themselves as a brand, and they just think that I'm just making music, which I understand to a degree. I'm making music, whatever comes out comes out, but you gotta understand like who you be targeting to and so forth, and everything. And then like sometimes you don't have those outliers where the demographic that you making your music for or somebody else that's not in your demographic like it too as well and can resonate with it. But it's still at the same time still stay true to you, and first and foremost stay true to yourself, but also know who you targeting to as well. Do you agree with that, or what's your take on that?
But to that, I'd say this, right? And you are doing something professional. This is it's considered journalism, right? So, and this is just advice. You know what I'm saying? You can take it, you cannot. It's just advice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I give you
Mm-hmm.
what I've noticed
Mm-hmm.
when they started selling the personality versus the music. It opened up a mindset for the listening ear to be like, I don't give a damn what they put out. I'm gonna listen to them, right? An artist like myself, I have to get out more, let people learn my personality and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm speaking
Yeah.
to you here today, right? So
Right.
go back and you look at when the biggest of artists first was doing a whole bunch of interviews and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
A Drake, artist Kendrick Lamar. People say they try to put Kendrick Lamar in a box. They try to put Drake in a box. They try to put J. Cole in a box. As back as I can remember, these artists were making all types of music, you know? And it got to a point where they develop a fan base of them. It's like
Mm-hmm.
that's saying like they can do no wrong because they done grasp to that person to a point where it's like it don't matter what they put out, I'm gonna listen to it. The totality
Mm-hmm.
of however that song makes me feel at that moment. If I
Yeah.
know for a fact I'm going out to the club
Mhm.
For Kendrick Lamar, I'm not gonna put on Swimming Pool. You know what I'm saying? He put on God is not pussy ass nigga, I'ma make it look. Now something that make me get up, you know what I'm saying? But just go back and look at some of the interviews, right? Became who they was, they stopped doing interviews because they already done grabbed people that was gonna pretty much listen to them and stuff like that.
Yeah, got that core fan base.
Right. So after they built they call the music didn't build them the fan base. The music got the people to look at them like, oh, what is it? And then when
Yeah.
I started seeing them more and started resonating with their personality, that's when I like the fan base. So I always say it's smart to like sell the personality of the artist, but at what point does it become dangerous?
Yeah, I like that you said that. 2 points I'm thinking of on that with Swimming Pool when Kendrick Lamar was first getting known and stuff like that. I was hearing that in party scenes and club scenes and so forth. But when you really listen to it, he really talking the opposite of it, and everything. But that was his way of being able to conform. Not I ain't gonna say conform, but able to blend in on both way where where you can think on it and at the same time vibe to it.
Mhm.
And so forth. And now when you say about the personality route, a lot of I hear like the mainstream artists and stuff like that, and not to take away from Missy Elliott and everything like that, but when she first came, how old are you by the way?
33.
33. Okay, yeah. Because when you say you get Dirty Diane, I say yeah. You sound like yeah. When you put that out there, I say yeah. You grew up when I grew up. So, yeah. So with Missy Elliott and everything, when she was coming out with all flashy bubble suits and everything like that, and everything like that, that was in a sense a gimmick. I remember it was something they were talking about with us. She said that was something they had to do, like to get known for one thing, and then they branch out and do something different. And I think that's what it is. But do you think like is it do you think it's like too gimmicky, like that person it could not even be that person personality, or that person just hiding behind something or whatever? Or do you think that person need to be if they gonna be come out with a personality type of song for people to know them or to stick to them? Do you think they need to be as genuine as can be, or have a gimmick and everything? Cause like I see sometimes the gimmicks don't fade out, and then nobody be thinking about them no more because of that gimmick once they change and so forth.
Right. Um to that it could be one or two things, right? They gimmick
Mm,
can actually be who they are, but
mm,
9 times out of 10 when it fades away is because the gimmick wasn't really who they was. Like the or you can have somebody that actually studied the industry so well to the point where they know how to turn it on, turn it off. Like
yeah.
everybody be mad at the guy. And he doesn't even make music, Charleston White, right? But he understands
Mhm.
like what's gonna get the people talking, what's gonna keep him viral, what's gonna keep the motion and stuff going. He may not even be that person, and we've seen clips of him going upon the boards and stuff like that, actually talking against, you know what I'm saying, crime and stuff like that. And he's also been it's also been documented that he's done crime, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you ask yourself, well, what side of the fence is this guy really on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the dangerous part about that personality and gimmicky and stuff like that is imagine if somebody's really on that other type of content you talking about and then they meet you and you're not that person that's so fanned out to the point where it like blows their mind and they want to do something to you.
Mm.
So a lot of people forget that the word fan is short for fanatic. You know what I'm saying? That's why they try to change the word to support and stuff like that. But it's like a lot of stuff that's in the industry that they don't talk about as far as the gimmicks
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Me personally, I wouldn't. Maybe that's why probably why I'm not a household name. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Is because there's no gimmick behind it. Like crime culture, right? Go on the track, say a whole bunch of wild stuff. Next thing you know, they get limelight and then they got uh, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But they
Yeah.
know that it's gonna gain attention because some odd reason our culture like beef. When the person end up dead, then it comes out, and then they point on talking, and then so the whole time they wasn't really that person.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think is a lot of folks think it's the industry, mainstream industry, is one that's propagating that stuff where they want us to have that certain image because you talk positivity and other stuff and so forth. They don't want you to, promote that and so forth. And they say people don't want to hear it and so to speak and so forth. So and everything. So what would be your approach to, like, people, do you think mainstream is the goal, or just being really just true to yourself matters more?
I think freedom is the goal. But my whole thing is I love doing music. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I love doing music, I want to be able to make enough money off it that I don't have to work for another.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it comes with mainstream or not, that's my goal. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
As far as the art form pushing its way through and being the fact that
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact music should be treated like a stock, I would want to be mainstream, but I also understand what comes with it too.
Yeah, I agree. No, like, especially with things going on now, you can, on the independent side, like, it's back when we were growing up. I'm 39, and when we was growing up and so forth, where you had to go physically go get a album and stuff like that, and pop it in the CD, and everything until that mug break, and you rubbing that thing and blowing on it and stuff like that. Make sure that try to get those scratches out of it and stuff like that. I think is a different type of listening and everything. But with us being able to, but what I'm saying is, like, you had to be, mainstream, because you couldn't get into the stores no other way but through a record label and so forth. Now it's a little bit easier. I ain't gonna say easier, but more simple with it, that you can put your own self on DSPs, get your own team, and work like a label and think like a label. I think that's what, again, go back to the brand thing, where folks don't look at themselves as a brand. They just look at, I just make music. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do the business stuff. And, I think too, once people start understanding that, they can kind of find their own lane and their own level of success, or what mainstream is in their world or in what they doing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I remember tape, bro. Like
You remember who? Tank?
I remember tapes, cassette tapes,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely, man. Yeah,
cassette tapes, man, the real Walkman.
man. Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, I was blessed enough to have I got 8 older brothers. So like a lot of
Okay.
I picked up a lot of stuff from them and stuff, and then whatever experience that I grabbed going forward, I grabbed. So like I've been listening to music, and I was in music very very young, like
Hmm.
since 5. I was Wu
Yeah.
Tang, and yeah, like
Yeah.
I was
Okay. You would say that last part. I didn't hear you.
a Wu Tang. I was on it, like you know what I'm saying. Ever
Uh,
since the youngest, like my
yeah.
mother used to have videotapes of me rapping the 36 Chambers album, like head to,
Hmm.
head to bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely, man.
Yeah, I was
Go
blessed
ahead.
enough to be listening to music for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a nice segue to saying, like, how did you get into music? Like, what started you on your trajectory in making music? How long have you been doing music for as well?
Yeah. So just listening to music as a young coming up, listening to all types of music, then moving to the South and stuff like that. Watching the culture change, listening to my
Hmm.
brother play the Dirty Boy, and you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like all type of music, man. But I didn't take music serious until like 2017.
Okay. Yeah, you did say something about that. Okay, go ahead.
So before that, my homeboy used to actually like I used to do like freestyles in the car. And this is another thing
Mm-hmm.
with artist development. A lot of artists don't understand it. They want instant gratification. But like that's kind of the reason why some people around the area basically like listen to my music because they remember me freestyling in the car. My homeboy used to always want me to take it serious, but I just be like, man, I just like doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I met Cass in 2017, I rapped for him. He was like, nah, you got it. You know what I'm saying? And my cousin, which was the head of the state rep, well, yeah, he was the head of state rep for Rough Riders in
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina at the time. He made that link, and I pretty much was like, oh no, somebody in the industry tell me, you know what I'm saying? I pretty much got what it takes, and I'm gonna take it there. Segue
Yeah.
from that, I didn't drop a single, which was called Too Smooth until like 2018, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't enter myself into like coast to coast competition. I won that for the South Carolina region. and then
Mm-hmm.
rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a starter. But that night I met Kid from G Unit.
Yeah.
Same thing. You got what it takes. So when you keep hearing these things from people that you want to be your peers,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what I want to do. This is what I know I
Yeah.
can do, and it's been proven. And then went and did the I rap for Kitchen Styles P in Atlantic City. This is like a
Okay.
bit after COVID, a little bit during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I also did the interview on this 50 with DJ Thorough.
Okay.
So man, I pretty much understand what it takes. Like you gotta be the movie takers and stuff. And you also gotta understand the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah. Most definitely, man, and especially when you hear that, those cosigns, it definitely can, like, when you weren't really even thinking about it, and those cosigns come to you with people who are already in the game, they already had got the experience, they got the ear for it, so they can kind of see talent and know the potential there. So you're like, if this person's saying this and that person saying that, then maybe it's something else here. And then you look into it, and everything like that. And the good you leaned into it, and so forth, because it's paying out, and so forth. And I see here that you say you opened up for Kevin Gates, Sexy Red, Jeezy, NLE Chopper. So forth. Talk about those experiences and so forth. It's like that's like a array of different artists right there, and so forth that you open up for. Yeah.
So they and I'm not sure of the background or whatever. But I think when the whole thing popped off with Drake and Kendrick Lamar, I don't know whether
Hmm.
you noticed it or not, but I don't know if that label set Sexy Red up with Drake. You started seeing them two like a lot, but when that little beat was going on, she was like a little bit in the background, like hold on, you know what I'm saying? And I don't
Yeah.
know her
Who
label,
was in the back? Who was in the background again?
Sexy Red, like she kind of like
Sexy Red. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
during the beat
Oh yeah.
and stuff, right? They were kind of like bringing it back, but I guess during that little time frame, she was going on tour and doing tours and stuff. Now, mind you, it's a lot in the industry because
Hmm.
you may be a popular artist, but you can't sell tickets.
Yeah.
So I guess they paired her. You started seeing her on tour with like Jeezy a lot.
Hmm.
Jeezy was going to sell tickets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they did it. They did a show at the Pavilion in North Carolina.
Hmm.
I was able to connect with the right people, and I was able to open up for Sexy Red, Kevin Gates, Jeezy, NLE Chopper.
Hmm.
Who else was on that? There's somebody. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
That's all you got on these. Kevin Gates, Sexy Red, Jesus. I said Jesus. Jeezy, NLE Chopper, and everything. That's who you got that you opened up for. Now it could be more that you opened up for as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Yeah, they was the acts. They was the acts that night.
okay.
But yeah, they were the acts that night. It was a great experience, man. It was a festival. One thing I will say, like after doing a festival, you would probably never want to like rap in a club again.
Hmm.
It's just like it's
Okay.
a different feeling.
Okay. So you say once you opened up for them, you say you never wanted to rap in it. You'll feel like you want to never rap in a club again. What do you mean by that?
Honestly, and I got a producer's ear. So when the
Uh-huh.
music is coming through those speakers, it's like a totally different feeling. On top of
Hmm.
knowing that the people's actually there for the music, so they're actually
Okay.
listening to your music. And when you on stage and you rocking the stage, it's just a totally different feeling from you rapping in a club. You know what I'm saying, or something like that.
Hmm.
That's why a lot of time they explain to the artist like, yeah, the club scene is cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can get a bag when you pop 'em.
Hmm.
When you start filling up arenas and selling out festivals, you gonna
Yeah.
it's like they don't want to. A lot of artists don't like doing it because it's kind of like starting over. It's like being the man on the basketball team in high school and going to college and got it. You know what I'm saying? Become the man.
Yeah. You got to prove yourself again.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, it's just a different feeling. I can't really explain it. It's kind of like a. I don't use drugs, but it's kind of like a high. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. I get you. Well, it's natural high. And then let me just see if I could take a stab at it and see. So the difference between I haven't really went to a concert, but I'm thinking I can kind of see what you're talking about. with the club scene, you more so it's intimate and it's more so like a vibe, and it ain't necessarily mean that no people are like fans of yours, like true fan. But you in an arena, all and everything, you playing in different all these people coming to see you and everything, and also they hearing you in a different arena, a different type of setting than it is in the club setting. That and I'm thinking, it's a different experience all around for us. Them listening to you, the experience you actually got to perform in a sense that you had to do on stage. And on stage, you just, rapping and letting them say it back. But on stage, you have to have some type of, give them some type of experience, is what I'm saying. And
And
do that kind of talk about, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it's a lot that goes with it, right? So when you go into a festival and you're not the headliner, right? Who's on the
Hmm.
bill? So like
Yeah.
think of in the mindset of Kevin Gates, NLE Chopper, Jeezy, right? So I'm looking at those people in the array of music, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, all right, it's going to be people that like selling music there, right? So,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
picked something in my catalog with a bounce bass, which is, you know what I'm saying, the bass, and something up tempo. It's because I want those fans to be like, oh, who is this?
Yeah.
Versus in the club, I just gotta have a club track. I just know I gotta have a club track. I also don't know if the people there for the music or not versus the festival where it's people there for the music, merch, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying? The club
Right.
is more you don't know who's gonna catch the man that they done had beef with from last week or the dude, he don't give a damn about your music. He just wanna holler at old girl because she there with her home girls, you know what I'm saying? The music, we don't give a damn about that.
It's just really just to facilitate the vibe, like I was saying.
Yeah, yeah. It's too much going on in the club for you to try to
Mhm.
take the music off unless you're already known or popping.
Right. Yeah, you just more like ambience music or to facilitate the ambiance, background. You just basically background music to in a sense or whatever.
Yeah.
Versus in doing it for a festival or stuff like that. Like you said, the people are there to see a show and everything like that, and you can probably get known better, quicker that way too as well because they come in to actually hear music, not just a particular vibe or whatever, and stuff like that. Especially you on the ticket, yeah, people want to hear Jeezy, people want to hear Sexy Red, but when they see you come on and like, who is this guy? And you get more fan, kind of like the effect what we were saying about the Super Bowl and all that stuff like that. When people really like hear your music timeless and stuff like that. Once they don't heard, got a taste of it, now they go back to see who you really are and so forth and hear more of your music. That's kind of where we at with it. If I'm just explaining it right for you.
Yeah, that's definitely hitting it. That's hitting it. It's like
Okay.
it's just like the club is like you can have a nice fit on, you can be the person that went viral. Your music cannot be like that, but if it got bass behind it, they don't give a damn what you know what I'm saying for real. For real. But
Uh,
festival,
right.
if you went viral and they got you on the festival stage, you better have the music to back it up. Don't give a damn about how you grow. You know what I'm saying? Just the music hit.
Right. Yeah, I feel you on that and everything. So like now, for as more you talk about more about your music and so forth. Now, I don't know if you do you got different music on other platforms? Because I usually listen to Apple Music, so I was only find the EP and your singles. Do you have any albums or anything now that you want to talk about?
Now I don't like putting out albums. I only put out singles.
Okay, let's talk about that. But go ahead.
Yeah, my reasoning for putting out singles is pretty much it's just a strategy that I see that worked for me. So like my very
Hmm.
first body of music that I actually put out was called Beat Tape. Now the quality of it wasn't that good because I actually recorded it myself, which I'm still learning that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I noticed that certain people only listen to like probably two songs for the most part on that EP and or that body of work, and I was just like, I wonder how it'd be if I just put out singles.
Okay.
So that's what I started doing. I started just putting out singles, and I noticed that people like I can tell them the vibe or the mood of this song, and then they'll take the song for exactly what it is.
Mm.
Versus, I don't feel like listening to that right now. Let me see what type of vibe he got going through here because I want people to listen to all my songs. You know what I'm saying? And the only way I know to listen to all my songs, put out singles, so you can understand exactly what the song is for. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And
Okay.
those other bodies of work like vibes and humble beginnings and stuff like that. The only
Mm,
reason why those bodies of work is because I was doing it with other people. You know what I'm saying? But it's not just me entirely.
okay. I got you. So what I was hearing about, doing the singles versus doing the album, like I said, doing my research stuff and like getting into, I forgot what that guy name is on YouTube was helping people, but it was similar to what Russ was saying too as well. Is like the singles are like if you just starting out and so forth. Don't come out with no album right away because people don't know you yet. They they ain't gonna really listen to all the whole body of work and so forth. So what they were saying was to actually do your singles as like you batting, so every time you put a single out, that's your, no, that's your, you throwing something out there and everything and to get some kind of wave. And then when that wave do come, people like what you hearing and they don't want, until they get to a vision where they want to hear more, then you come out with an album, and so forth and everything. But I think that's a interesting take on it as well for what you said and so forth. Because I think too, back before hip hop was a thing and so forth, even like I would say in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and so forth, it wasn't a whole lot of albums. Well, 70s started being albums. They say like the 50s, 60s on back. It wasn't a whole lot of albums. They were more so on the singles and everything. Albums started becoming a thing later on or whatever. But I think we kind of getting back to that when people kind of looking at different avenues, whether to put their stuff on DSPs or streaming platforms and so forth. And you hear all the gripes about it, where Spotify only paying 0.003 cent of a penny and stuff like that. So people find other avenues to actually like whether they should put it on there or go direct to consumer and all that stuff like that. So your take on it too, I like that take as well. People hearing that particular song and they know what is they taking it at face value, other than whole album. You trying to give a conceptualized of ideal for people to convey. Go back to Kendrick Lamar and everything with his songs and so forth. GNX wasn't like that though. GNX, it was kind of like more where he was saying, give them what they asked for. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a vibe, like it was a mix between, his very analytical and thought provoking stuff or whatever, but also his vibe stuff too as well. So I think it was a mix between that and everything. I kind of equated to his version of riding music. Still can make you think, but at the same time, it's right. That's why I equate that GNX. But yeah, overall, I think that's interesting to hear about on that thing. Like, what do you think about that for us putting your music on DSPs and also or going direct to consumer, and everything like that? Is people listening to, like 'cause this me and my cousin Jay, we were talking about this. We talk about this all the time. Is like I know for the independent artists and so forth. Is most of the work for the industry, like the music industry, the big mainstream and so forth, but it ain't really for the independent artists and so forth. They gotta go by a different set of rules than the industry do and so forth. So what would you say on that? Do you think people want to hear you individually, like, oh, well, get your stuff direct to consumer? Because I think it is like most of the fans is like, I can get all of the music on one platform. Why I gotta, we come from that time where you had to go get the album, the cassette tape, and all that stuff like that. But nowadays, like, why would as a consumer myself, like, why would I want to go get all this, get that one particular music and everything? Might not like all of it, and when I can just listen to the particular song that I want to listen to.
Yeah, yeah. So it just goes back to the saying of you're nobody until you somebody. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
basically until people like gravitate towards you and your music and things like that, the direct to
Hmm.
consumer route I wouldn't say is a good route unless you're actually giving them something that you may deem of value, right? So I'm selling
Hmm.
like merch or something like that with it. If I'm
Hmm.
selling like an item or something like that with it. And some mainstream artists will do it to this day. Like we just seen what's his name? Belly Gang Cushington.
Okay.
He just
Okay.
became like one of the hot or popular artists right now of this time, right?
Hmm.
So he just did a turkey drive, and at the turkey drive, he's giving out the t-shirts, but the
Mhm.
t-shirts are like in the form of selling cocaine bricks. You know what I'm saying? And like he was giving out the t-shirts actually for their sizes.
So go back to this. So what he got it shaped up as a cocaine brick?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like how his thinking on it. But go ahead.
Right. So I was just like, hey, that's smart. That makes sense or whatever. And it fits his brand or whatever. So it was just
Uh,
if you're giving them something about it that they can use, then yeah, it'll make sense as far as doing direct to consumer. Not saying that he was doing direct to consumer, he was just doing a turkey drive, but it was just interesting to watch. Like some artists actually still do it, and it's just like that's dope to me. You know what I'm saying? Most people always see me with hats or something, so if like I come out with a hat or something like that, and I can incorporate that into selling my music, then I may do direct to consumer versus allowing DSPs to get like a piece of the pie.
okay. I got you. Okay. Yeah, I feel you on that. So now with the with your music and so forth, when you say you putting out the singles and everything, what would you say like for as all the songs, like if somebody was to make a playlist of your songs, so to get an idea of who Rocky Neal is, what songs maybe like an EP, you ain't gotta do a whole album. If you want to do an album, you know what I'm saying? What songs would you say would be the playlist that they need to hear the whole Rocky Neal? Because like I said, your music is different. You're not just rapping, you singing and you know doing
Yeah.
other stuff as well.
So I would do set it off.
Okay.
Nothing wrong for R&B. I would do Rocky Conversation for like conscious music, conscious rap.
Okay.
I would do Where Do I Start for more modern southern feel of rap.
Okay.
Uh, Outside lifestyle for like those that just want to party and vibe.
Okay.
Either Cool on That or 101 or probably L'Oreal Harvey.
Say that again.
Cool on That or 101 and probably
Okay.
L'Oreal Harvey. I'll do L'Oreal Harvey because it's like it's a concept song.
That was I wanted like so people when they go and they can get that tray list. I'm gonna have to write you going fast. I couldn't write it down all how I wanted to do it, but yeah. So definitely like I said when you put that up. So do you make album or do you have something in the tuck where it is when it get to that point? Here we go, or like you waiting to or you pretty much thinking that the single route because some people doing that. I even the mainstream they just doing singles now. Some people ain't doing albums no more that they have got a body of work in that space. But are you just gonna be strictly doing singles or
Yeah,
are you planning to do albums and stuff like that?
I'm strictly doing singles. I think
Uh,
I probably won't do an album until like I get known.
okay, okay. Yeah, so like I said, yeah, that was a guy was I forgot what that guy said, but yeah, he said those are swings, and everything you doing, till you get that home run. Then once that you get that home run, you and people want to hear more, and then that's when you put your album out and so forth. Okay, so so now people who like getting into the business, just starting or wanting to start, what would be some advice that you would tell them to go in getting started?
For one, learn as much of the craft that you can, so
Okay.
that you'll know what you can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? From there, build a team based upon what you don't want to do.
Hmm.
Make sure that your team is loyal. So, like, if you're an artist and you can shoot videos and edit videos, but you don't want to do it, get somebody for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
Hmm.
an artist and you can produce and engineer yourself, but you don't like doing it, get
Hmm.
somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That do it.
Hmm.
Have your own
Okay.
everything as far as like your own camera, own computer, own software and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
In case. And after that, just be prepared to invest into like videos because videos and visuals. Because one thing I learned, the music is powerful, but at the end of the day, people like to see stuff. So if you're not willing to invest in like getting yourself out there,
Hmm.
then when I say that, yes, guerrilla marketing is still a thing. Like get out there, speak to people. You know what I'm saying? Pump
Hmm.
elbows for people and stuff like that. You have to do that. Shout out to Dom, he does a lot of that. But the internet is the only place I know that you can be in multiple places at one time. So use the advantage.
Definitely. That and that's what I was saying. Why I believe it's more simple, than it has ever been. Because back when we was growing up, you had to be on a record label to get that push and get known and get out there. You know what I'm saying? But now, I believe it with the internet and how things are going now. There's so many different avenues that you can do where you can do it independently and comfortably as an independent, where you won't have to give up so much percentages of your masters and your publishing and all that stuff like that and everything. You can not like I said, there's still certain things that the industry got that independent artists don't have or could use, but for the most part, I believe it's a comfortable living that you can have once you get those things that you said in place. Would you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. You hitting the nail right on right on the head. It's crazy. I don't know whether you heard the baby in the background crying. I just had a little girl, man.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so it makes me a song that I just dropped called Jonah Neal. I made that.
Mhm. Hold on, say again.
And I was saying it makes me a song that's in my catalog called Jonah Neal. I made that specifically for her.
Jonah, say that. Let me spell that real quick.
Jonah Neal.
Jonah Neal. Okay, okay. And you made that specifically for her.
Yeah, I'm pretty much
Okay,
like talking to parenthood and
okay.
how you know what I'm saying, like how she can envision
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Right, right. And I don't think we put a lot of that into our raps and stuff like that too as well. The personable stuff, that the life stuff, and it always be like surface level stuff, money, clothes, women, and everything like that or whatever. But it don't be.
It's the young kids do it to this day with crime, though, and then they tell on they and they end up getting locked up or shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, yeah.
they don't do it in a positive way.
Right, right. Yeah, so that's why I said, I think it's more that need to be shown. So I definitely, like that. Got the songs I made. I have got a couple songs where I'm talking to my son too as well. I would say my style is, I say personality rap. I'm a fitness coach too, so it's motivational stuff as well. But it's also little bit of bravado because when you're doing hip hop, you got to be a little
Gotta
little,
be
little brag. You got to be a little braggadocious and stuff like that, whatever. And some of the topics out there, but not into the terms of what you hear normally, and everything like that as well. Now, would bring me to my next point, like when we were talking about earlier, where um the personality thing about things like, is when we in this world of social media and so forth. What's your take on that? Most artists now are still in the thinking, I put this music out, I just press this button, release, fans gonna start rolling in, money gonna start rolling in and so forth. But in this day of time, not only with the music art, you see it with the actors and other people and so forth, that they got to get on social media because people want to know the person behind the music, and everything before they even really be a fan of the music that they, to go even listen to your stuff. Like we were talking about with when I was saying about exhibit and stuff like that with Pimp My Ride. That's how they got introduced to his music because of Pimp My Ride and stuff like that. So what would you say to that? Where we in that social media, and that we gotta and doing what we doing now with this here to put ourselves in front of people so that people can know who we are and then go be able to listen to what we got to say in our music and so on and so forth.
It goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like the internet is the only place you know that you're gonna be at multiple places at one time. You got to use your event. So if you ain't promoting, who the hell you can go and listen to you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if Dom would have never reached out to you, I'm almost certain that you probably would have never heard my music. You know what I'm saying? So like
right, right.
I don't know how you met Dom. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was in person or over the internet, but saying you gotta be able to bridge the gap.
Yeah, okay, definitely, man. And there's another reason why I'm doing this too. But like one, I'm a music artist, becoming one as well. And then two, like I think artists, on an independent scale, don't get a lot of shine as they could, and everything like that. So putting them in platforms where they can get they showcase who they really are, not just the music, but show who they are, wherewithal behind the music and all that stuff like that. I think that shows, a different side of them, and then make people fall in love with them, not only with the music but the person too as well. And then that builds what we call in business and fitness coaching and all this stuff like that, that know like trust factor. And that builds and goes a whole long way where you get those super fans where no matter what you're doing, you finna do a show, you got some merch out, you got an album or whatever song coming out, they gonna support, and everything like that. So building yourself to that core fan base, and that go a whole long way or whatever.
Nah, that's everything you're saying is all true, man. I got a question for you though. How you been in fitness?
I've been for as myself, I've been doing it for 20 years now. But for like a fitness coach, I've been doing it for 12 years, over 12 years now.
Do you remember back when you first got started?
Oh yeah.
Was it? Because I ain't
Was it what now?
was it like tough to like get your mindset wrapped on? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
It was to quite frankly, it kind of started off just like how it was with you rapping and so forth, or with you making music. I wanted to say just rapping.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. But yeah, so somebody came to me when I was working at Levi's, and they was she was like, "You doing all this working out? Why don't you just start thought about being a fitness trainer and so forth?" And to that time, I wasn't really thinking about it. But I noticed people were flocking to me, wanting to work out with me, asking questions and stuff like that. And then when I was thinking of all that, then that made me look into it more. But getting to your question is once I got certified and start going into it, I didn't really. I would say I had a level of I was a bit naive. So with me, I just thought as soon as I got the certification, kind of that if you build it, they will come, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's what I thought. So as soon as I got that certification, I was like, okay, they finna come flooding in now. I posted out that I'm a trainer, and they gonna come in, and so forth. But that wasn't how it works.
Yeah.
Thing is, the thing is, you got to market yourself. So that's why I say I can understand the whole thing about artists being brands and stuff like that. I don't think we think about that as much. So I didn't think of myself as a brand. I didn't think of the business side of things. I knew the technical stuff or how to get a person to a certain goal, but I didn't know the business stuff. So I didn't know what I didn't know. So it was, I would say to your answer your question after that, once I got humbled, then yeah, it was hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to learn the business and really know the ins and outs of how to get a client and really how to sell to a client and so forth and everything to get them to a certain goal and everything and retaining that client as well. So yeah, all that was definitely hard and everything. I was all over the place too. I wasn't really organized or anything like that. And so over time, as I started getting into it more and more, to start building that foundation and knowing like who I was as a trainer, who I wanted to work with, and how I wanted to do business and stuff like that as well. So yeah, it was tough, and it's still tough. It's with fitness is a revolving door. So you got these people come in and come out. The lifespan of a potential client is anywhere from maybe 3 to 8 months, and everything like that. So
Yeah.
that they'll stay, long that stays. And you get the ones that stay longer than that, you own to something. But yeah, but the lifespan is like 3 to 8 months or whatever, maybe a year. But yeah, me learning the business and stuff like that, ins and outs and stuff like that, it was definitely tough. And I'm here in Mississippi. It's one of those, I would say, double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Where we, we the fattest state.
Yeah.
At the same, and so that means you need people that need it, but at the same time, we're the poorest state, one of the poorest states. So that need it but can't afford it is the thing. So I branched out to doing it online. So I will do it. I do talk to with people that's local or whatever, but I mostly do it online now and everything. But hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what made you ask that?
Because when Dom sent me the what's that, I was like, oh, it's a fitness the fitness
Hmm.
podcast.
Yeah.
About music, and I think, oh yeah, you do music.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, how did you know I was saying I do music, or did Dom tell you that?
Dom didn't tell me that when I seen your name and I was like the artist, well he gotta do music, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's talking about like, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying, bodybuilding as an art form. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, he gotta
Yeah.
do
You
music.
feeling me? Yeah. You feeling me? You feeling me? Okay. So when I came up with the name Trea Da Fit Artist, that um to give you back the backstory and everything like that. Like I said, I always wanted to rap since I was like when I started first hearing rapping. And like I started like making like poems and stuff like that when I was 8, 9 years old, maybe 10 and stuff like that. But I grew up in a Christian background and so forth. And when I started hearing music, started hearing hip hop, that is, I was like, oh, I can put this to a beat and stuff like that or whatever. And that's when my love for it grew. Then I was like 16 when I wrote my first rhyme, and just didn't really do it until like COVID time and so forth. But throughout the years and stuff like that or whatever, I always had that itch. Even when I started my business and so forth, I was like, it was like it's something I can do with it. Like you don't hear music. When you hear people play music, they go to the gym and work out to a certain thing. I was like, I can make music actually for the gym, not music that just played in for played for the reason, but it can be actually niche towards that.
Right.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I had made a jingle for my business, everything. And I was telling my cousin, he was like, "Man, you just wanna," he said, "Man, you just wanna rap." I said, "I really do, man." I was trying to find my way to do it. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But my setback was, I like I said, I come from a Christian background. My grandma was a preacher, my uncle a preacher. Mama heavily, with in the Christian background and so forth. So I like, what would my family think? And then I just like, I mean, it's my life. And I'm not talking about, some of the stuff that you see here typically and everything like that or whatever is different, and stuff like that. So I like, man, I couldn't shake it. So I said, let me go ahead and do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Trea Da Fit Artist was born within that, all with me trying to emerge to go ahead and do the rapping, but also with me in business, because that's how I kind of describe it. Trey mean three. When you think of, so I say it's a triple entendre. So Trey mean three. Body is a work of art, and I make music. You know what I'm saying? And I help people. That's two things. And then I help people with their fitness.
Yeah.
So Trea Da Fit Artist. So that's how I kind of explain it. Yeah. So that's I could say it's a triple entendre, and I made that my business moniker and everything like that as well. Dom had that same reservation when we first talked or whatever, because he had put out on Facebook in a group we in called what name? Needle Guess. It's called a group, and he just reached out and said, anybody interview fitness coaches and anybody interview artists and stuff like that. And I did that, and then when we talked, he's like, "Nah, I don't think we're a good fit, man. Because you look at this, the muscle man on my logo and all this stuff like that. You're like, man, he just looked at two or three things and said, you talking about fitness? I said, I don't think. He said, man, that's fire, but I don't think we're a good fit. I said, man, thank you, but I don't think you really fully know what I do, and stuff like that. And then when he looked into it and then he started talking to me, and then I guess he looked at an episode or two, and then he seen what I was doing. So, but yeah, that's my whole approach to it, especially with this show, is blending the both worlds together. And man, when you think of artists, entertainers, they constantly on the road. They are, the schedules is hectic and so forth. So sometimes it is hard to get to, for his eating right and working out in a certain way and stuff like that. So they were like, I'm putting my two passions together. So basically, just where they were saying, if you're going, is either what you're passionate about or what you want been through. I didn't want to talk about my knee injury and that's what type of clientele I wanted to do or whatever. So I said, okay, well, music, being creative is something I want to do. And there's something I want to do and help if I'm a niche my business too. So that's why I started targeting artists and entertainers. So like, I'm one, and then if I can do it, they can do it too, and I can help them get to it and everything. So in more ways than one is what I'm doing. Hopefully that explained everything to bring it back.
Super dope, bro.
But yeah, appreciate
it. That goes back to when you was like, like if you wanted to, like you can get direct to consumer. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you got a service that they would pretty much everybody needs. You have everybody needs. It's just like, how bad do they really want it? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's how I looked at it. Like, I wasn't really about to do this yet, because I'm working on a network too for artists and entertainers, where artists and entertainers not only get the consulting and the coaching, and not coaching, but the consulting and guidance part of it. But it's a place where they can share their creativity, get feedback, build opportunities and stuff like that with other artists, with other entertainers, with whoever in the space. They don't got to be just the artists and entertainers. It can be people who work within the entertainment industry and stuff like that as well. So I wanted to be a place where, everybody can, get help on their fitness side of stuff and on the business side of stuff. So that's what I'm currently building on with that too as well. But yeah, when we sat down and talked and everything, he really seen what I was doing and everything. So, and like I said, with the podcast, I wasn't really thinking about doing it just yet because I was working on the network. So, but I was like, oh, well, if this is who I'm trying to reach, I need to do what they doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when you look at it, all the stars and stuff like that, when they got something going on, a book, a movie, or album coming out, they do a press run. So they go on talk shows. What else stuff they go on? Radios and radio shows and stuff like that, yeah, and everything like that. So they do a whole tour, man, with it. So I said, well, let me go and get into it and everything. And that's how I just came from there. But I also talk with other wellness professionals too, that are entrepreneurs, whoever I think that I can lend some kind of voice or value or ideas and everything, what have you, to artists and entertainers and helping them with that. Like I said, as you heard me in the beginning, with their personal, physical, and career growth. So that's what that's all about. I don't want to make that all about me, but I'm glad you asked. I appreciate you asking me that.
No, I'm not.
So forth.
That's why I asked.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to interview you like a little bit about them because you sometimes. Well, I be wanting to know like what gears them to actually want to do this and what it is that they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It was that summed everything up. And Dom is pretty good at figuring out like tapping into people's mindset too, or like exactly why what it is that they do. We used to hoop like I met Dom through hooping.
Okay.
He was pretty much like, bro, I looked at your social media page, like I would have never guessed that you was a artist or anything like that. I was trying to explain to him like, yeah, I don't try to like push my music on people, especially not in person, which I should tell people I do music, but I would rather you find the music to me. He was like, nah, bro, like people engage with you through your personality. So like you might wanna, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that's why I said too, that when I be telling people, even though I'm not, like I said, I plan to get, in music. I got about 40, 50 songs written up, and it just, I haven't recorded anything because I didn't know, again, I got humbled again. I just thought you just make the music, press release, and it's out there. But nah, it's a whole lot to it. So I like, man, I want to get it to a part where I get this operating without me a little bit, so I can focus fully more on the music side of things. Then branch out. But I said I plan that I still need to get something out, one or two things here and there, and because it'll be years and still ain't releasing that. And so I said at least give me some, like you doing with the singles and stuff like that. At least get something out there so I can get it going and start gravitating towards it more. Then from there. But yeah, so when you heard the Trea Da Fit Artist, I'm glad that you kind of understood what I was doing when I named myself that. So that let me know I made the right choice in what I was doing for my naming and all stuff like that.
You definitely in the ballpark. The branding, everything, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay. All right, cool, man. But yeah, so I don't want to hold you up too much longer, man, and everything like that. So still want to ask you a couple questions though. All right, so I asked you about for the, like what would you tell the artists and entertainers and stuff like that? Is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't discussed though, other than everything we don't talk about today?
Yeah, I want to tell artists like don't chase some artists that's already gone because they can't do nothing for you. If you do, I would say like meet the people that's in the background working for them versus actually trying to get on through them. Unless you actually know them, they won't be able to help you. A cosign, cool, but unless it's consistent, it's pointless.
Okay. T-Pain said something like that. He was like, man, I can tell you how I got on, but how I got on, that door is closed. You know what he's saying? And it's going to be different he was basically saying along the lines, it's different for every artist. So he said, I can tell you this way, but that might not be the way for you and everything like that. That's what he was saying.
It's not really a blueprint on how to become a household name or get on in the industry. And like, I don't understand when people give advice on it, they get so irritated that somebody say, "Nah, I don't think like that." Okay, like we all know that it's no specific way to get on, so you can't really get
Mhm.
mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Definitely. Okay. All right. So, out of everything, what is there anything else you want to talk about?
Probably the song L'Oreal Harvey and how that came about.
L'Oreal Harvey.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead as well.
So Michael B
Is that kin to the Lori Harvey?
a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
So Michael B. Jordan had a spat with a journalist named L'Oreal.
Okay.
So the girl L'Oreal is from Jersey, and
Mm.
Michael B. Jordan went to the same high school. And I think on the interview, I ain't sure if you're familiar with this, but
Yeah.
on the interview, he was like, "Yeah, we used to pick on him, something like that." It's a
Uh-huh. Yeah.
he was,
Yeah. I seen that.
and then he confronted her on the red carpet,
Mm-hmm.
and it was funny. So in the beginning of the song, you have him confronting her. So I pretty much geared the song as like basically like back then you didn't want me, now I'm hot, you all on me type of deal, but it's more in like a now you fucking with me because I'm popping type shit. And I named it L'Oreal Harvey to incorporate Lori Harvey because actually in the cover art I have a picture of him and Lori Harvey when they were dating, and then I have a picture of him with L'Oreal Harvey on the red carpet on the cover art. And this concept song pretty much stating like be careful who you burn bridges with and like who you think, you know what I'm saying, ain't gonna be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I would tell artists like, I wanna tell artists like let's get back into making concept songs because they them tracks.
Okay. I see. Right. So I was looking for it, but I see. I'm gonna check it out. But no, say that again.
And I was saying like those type of tracks they actually last when the conversation come up and the person be like, "Man, he ain't never got no tracks with no substance," and then they go back to those and it's like proving the point.
Okay, okay. Yeah, definitely, man. And then going back to the one you say you did for your daughter as well. Another dope thing you can do. You heard about with Nas that brought me when you had first said that this came to mind. I don't know what song. I don't know what it was. Is it a particular album or is it a particular song? But Nas had, he had put her as a publishing or something like that for a particular album or something like that.
I think
So
it was written. I think.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, he I don't know, he put the masters the writing in the name or the masters in the name, something like that.
Mhm.
And everything like that where she gonna be, paid for life off that or whatever. And everything like that. And that's why I say that go back to what you were saying with the stock stuff or whatever. You can really set your family up with because the music is timeless and everything, and it can go on belong well beyond you when you're not here no more. Your kids and your grandkids can feed off this and stuff like that and everything. So yeah, and people that don't understand, man, like I said, with Michael Jackson years, you got folks dancing, little babies dancing Michael Jackson music now. Ain't never heard of this man. Probably don't even know how to say this man's name. You know what I'm saying? And they dancing to it. So if that, folks don't realize that. So it's really timeless music that can be made, and they think, once this music is over with, you shouldn't be using. But it's plenty of music out there that you're gonna go back to, and everything like that you like and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So okay, I'm trying to think this. But yeah, that's what I look at it as or whatever. Now, what would be the biggest takeaway that you think that people can that you would say people can take away from this conversation that we had today? Biggest takeaway or takeaway?
The biggest takeaway I would have to say, do what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, of all the advice that you're gonna receive, that don't mean you have to use it. You gotta do what works for you. And if you're not doing what works for you, it's probably ain't the business for you.
Okay, definitely. I like that. All right. So, anything else you want to talk about real quick before we get off here?
I just want to tell everybody, make sure they tap in with Trea Da Fit Artist, super cool guy, branding,
Appreciate it, man.
understanding, master.
I appreciate it, man. I'm working on it, man. It's been tough, man. I'm trying to like I'm breaking in. I think I'm thanking Don for that too. Is the more I've been doing it, I'm breaking into it more and more because my thing was like letting y'all know who I am, what I do, and how and how I help and stuff like that. So I was like, how do I get in and so forth and everything. So it's starting to, the ceiling's starting to break, so forth, and going toward this. I appreciate that, man. Oh yeah, but so before we get out here, man, let them know again where to find you, where to book you, listen to you, and everything as well.
Absolutely. Make sure y'all can book me, RockyNeal5@gmail.com. You can find me on IG, Rocky, that's ROCKY_Neal, NEAL, the number 5. You can find me on Facebook, Rocky Neal. You can find me on all digital streaming platforms, Rocky Neal. All my catalog, all my music. Find me on TikTok too, Rocky Neal. I think Rocky Neal 5 maybe.
Okay, cool. Yeah, check. Say that again.
I said I'm just getting into that too. TikTok. I gotta
TikTok.
figure it out.
Yeah. I'm on there too, and I've been posting on there as well. It's one of those, and I ain't doing no crazy trend dances and stuff like that. So my stuff is, talking, and I try to get away from the not try to get away, but like say the educated stuff. Like I just before I went into the niche of artists and entertainers, I was just speaking on how you can reach a certain goal or whatever and stuff like that. That stuff started getting boring to me. You know what I'm saying? So so you know what I'm saying? There's only so much you can say about a particular thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I think you'll be great at. I'm not sure what you've been through or things like that. The one thing that I know that does work is like people are in the stories on there, and then at the end you tell them stay tuned for part whatever. You know what I'm saying? It is, and then it'll build whatever fan base that you're approaching. But that definitely work. I haven't tried it myself, but I might end up trying.
Talking about posting stories?
Yeah, like posting, like me, like telling a story about something or a particular thing that.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. I get what you're saying. Like if something happened to you today and you just get on and just put your opinion about it, and everything. They were saying it don't even got to be like niche related. You just get on there and just show who you are.
Yeah.
And everything like that. Yeah, that.
Or interesting crazy stories that happened back in the day, and then you telling the story about how, how you overcame.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That one I was like I don't know, Kevin on stage or whatever. He was, he'll say as soon as he said I can bend on fell on the street or something like that, and I'm finna about to talk about me falling and everything, and then post play. That's what he was saying. He said, there's always content that he can come up with and everything. This was my way of too getting the content out there too as well. But it been hitting me up about the live stuff, so I might check the live part out because it's been pushing to go live on TikTok for a while, I guess. I don't know. I see that, but it goes to that part what we were just talking about earlier. We just gotta have people to know more about us in the, and the only way to do that is show our personality. So those are ways to do that. But yeah, man, I'm gonna let you get out of here. I ain't gonna hold you much longer. But yeah, I appreciate you for coming, and definitely gonna listen to more, more of your music. This ain't over between me and you and everything. We definitely can, once I get out there, man, definitely like, man, what's your thoughts on this, man? However it go or whatever. We definitely gonna see, each other in other spaces and so forth.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, man. So as we get out of here, man, I'm being your host, Trea Da Fit Artist of Sculpt N Create. My guest, Rocky Neal. We out, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. If you're looking for fitness coaching to help you reach your goals, want to join our animated network for fitness guidance, collaborations, networking, and community, or are interested in being a guest on the show, check out the links in the description. Stay creative, stay fit, and we'll holler at you next time.